What the hell happened? What the hell? Where the hell am I? Steven, wake up.
I feel terrible. Oh, what the hell? What the hell's happening, Ben?
It looks like we've been kidnapped, Steven. The last thing I remember is being gassed on the bus.
Yeah, I remember that too. What the hell are we gonna do, Ben?
I suppose the first thing we'd have to do is escape these chains, but I doubt our abductor just left the keys lying around within reach. And these chains are too tight for us to wiggle our way out of them, which leaves us with just one conclusion. One of us will have to cut off a limb in order to escape and get help.
Are you serious? Do you hear yourself, Ben?
Unless you have a better idea, I'm not seeing any other option, Steven.
No way am I cutting off my arm.
Well, unless you want to wait for whoever kidnapped us to walk through that door and do something horrible to us, I suggest we make a decision. Now, considering my leg is chained up and I wouldn't be able to walk far without it, I think our most logical course of action would be to chop your arm off.
Ben, are you hearing yourself right now?
Think logically, Steven. My leg is more muscular and thicker than your arm, which means it would take longer to cut through, whereas your arm is thinner and has less muscle mass, so cutting through it, comparatively, would be much easier.
Ben, I'm not cutting off my arm.
What about the long-term effects of cutting off a leg compared to cutting off an arm? Losing a leg would affect my mobility, as I would be confined to a wheelchair or a prosthetic leg, whereas a lost arm wouldn't affect my mobility at all.
But arms and legs serve different purposes, Ben. All a leg does is help you walk and maintain balance, while arms and the hand are used for a wider variety of tasks, like typing, gaming, cooking, driving. Plenty of people can walk fine with prosthetic legs, but a prosthetic arm? Unless you shill out tens of thousands of dollars for an advanced robotic arm with a controllable hand and fingers, you're toast.
Also consider blood loss, Steven. With a severed arm, you can manage your blood loss by holding your arm upward and tying the severed area with a shirt or a rag. Whereas if I were to cut off my leg, I would be unable to control the blood loss, as gravity would cause blood to naturally fall downwards and out of my leg.
There has to be another option, Ben. Maybe we can find something to break these chains.
Steven, unless we have a buzzsaw or something as powerful as that, we won't be able to break these chains. And even if we did have the proper tools, we wouldn't be able to free ourselves without causing a lot of noise, which would probably alert our abductor to our effort. We have to cut a limb, Steven.
No, Ben, I'd rather face what's coming than cut my arm off.
Consider what exactly may happen if we sit here and do nothing, Steven. If someone's deranged enough to gas, kidnap, and chain us to a wall, it's very likely that they would be willing to do even worse things to us, like cutting off our limbs. Don't you think it's a very real possibility that they would cut off both your arms and both my legs? If that were to happen, you'd think yourself foolish indeed for not choosing to cut off just one arm.
This can't be happening.
You know what I think we should do, Steven?
No, I don't want to hear any more of your crazy ideas.
What if we both cut off our limbs? That way we could both try to escape, and if we begin losing too much blood, we could use each other's limbs as a tourniquet.
What?
Well, look who the cat dragged in.
Hassan?
I knew it was you.
How could you possibly have known it was him, Ben? Never mind. Hassan, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm finally getting my revenge on you punks for bullying me all those times.
Hassan, those were just jokes. I swear, you leftists have no sense of humor.
Hassan, this is crazy. You can't just kidnap people and tie them up against their will?
Well, I just did, and there's nothing you punks can say to get out of this.
Hassan, let's think logically of the implications of you kidnapping us. Steven and I are high-profile individuals. If we went missing together around the same time, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people would notice, and it wouldn't be long until a manhunt is called. And the chances of you escaping law enforcement officials and internet sleuths would be very slim indeed.
Screw you, Ben. I don't care what happens to me as long as I get my revenge.
Well, Steven, I tried.
Hassan, what's the matter? Is this because I sent Sam to scare you at your house?
He did horrible things to me, things you wouldn't believe.
Don't tell me he hurt you physically in any way. I explicitly told him not to lay a finger on you.
He just stood there, in the corner of my room, menacingly. He just stood there and stared at me, saying nothing. Do you know what that does to a man? He made me shit my pants.
Hassan, please, I'm sorry I sent Sam to scare you. I'm sure we could come to an understanding if...
No, Steven, no more talk. It's time for you to pay.
Hassan, I have plenty of money, and I'd be perfectly willing to pay whatever ransom amount you had in mind.
You think this is funny, you little Nazi?
Well, you offered us a chance to pay our way to freedom, no?
I was talking about revenge. Revenge, Ben.
Oh, I apologize. It was my misunderstanding.
This can't be happening right now.
Well, it is, and it's about to get a lot worse. Boys?
Joe?
Vosh?
How's it hanging, fellas?
You thought you could get away with your insults?
By the time I'm through with you, you're gonna wish you were dead, Steven. Take them away, boys.
Vosh, please.
Shut up, Steven.
Joe, I can get you a copy of Cuties on DVD.
Nice try, Benji, but that hairy Turkish fella's already offered me a private showing of Cuties in IMAX 3D.
Hassan, please, don't do this. Hassan, please.
Well, at least we don't have to chop off our limbs.
Are you serious, Ben?